shooting deaths surge. These are mass shootings, okay? So does some of it have to do with the pandemic? Absolutely. You quarantine us in the house. We can't give us a curfew. We can't go nowhere. Like grown men and women, like we confined to our house, can't go anywhere. We subject to wearing facial coverings, not being able to do basically what we want. We can't even cough in public. You know what I'm saying? So of course, yeah, there was mentally ill people when it happened. Like mentally ill people wasn't getting their medication, wasn't seeing their therapist, and the mental illness got worse and worse and worse during the thing. So a lot of the mass shootings, I believe, is, fight or flight, just built up fight or flight. But in that situation, that was white supremacy all day. And the biggest white supremacists to call it out, like this is what they say, the pot calling the kettle black. What do you call the something white? Like the mayonnaise calling the mayonnaise white? This fool had the caucasity to say, we got to end white supremacy. This is a white supremacist move. Our commander-in-chief, the guy that signed, the prison bill, he was pushing that. Mass incarceration. Jim Crow Joe. Like he had every opportunity to hit the ground running and make it right. So if this like legislation and stuff works, we should have had tangibles out the rip. So I don't even want to hear it for all these people that love politics and political, talking about, well, if our votes counted, then why are you trying so hard to suppress it? It's called playing it to the bone. You gotta make the act look good. It has to look good. You gotta sell it. Our liberation is going to come from ourselves. The sooner we realize that, the sooner we'll be all right. The sooner we stop worrying about hurting our white friends' feelings. The sooner we stop worrying about, getting accepted from white people, we'll be all right. The sooner we'll stop worrying about offending white people, we will be all right, because they don't make no bones about offending us. They don't make no bones about insulting our intelligence on an everyday basis. Because if you know you're not like that, if you're Caucasian and know you're not racist, if you're Caucasian and know you grew up around black people and have black friends and, slept over black people's house and all that, then you don't have nothing to worry about. You should never, ever feel like somebody's picking on you. But if you feel some type of way from a black person telling the truth about how it is here in America and abroad, then you just might be the problem. You just might. If that offends you, if that hurts your feelings, to hear a black person calling it out. So yeah, I just want to, before I go out of here, I'm going to break down my normal format to all my new listeners, how, on a normal broadcast day, how my show usually goes. So first, I identify with the guest. I give an invite to Black-owned businesses. I tell them to hit me up at my email address, passionwebmail, poeticpassion.host. And in the subject bar, put promo if they would like free promotion for the business, product, or service. And it's a free plug. Then after that, I plug a contest that I'm currently airing called the Chew on This contest. Same email address, passionwebmail at poeticpassion.host. And in the body of the email, tell a little bit about yourself, business, or just participate in the topic of the contest. And the topic of the contest is sharing your Shopping While Black experience. Why do I want you to share your Shopping While Black experience? Because it's something that happens universally all over the world where Black people are, and we need to keep the conversation going. So what I'm doing is offering a bulk supply of your favorite snack just for entering the contest. So, you pay nothing to enter. You will get a bulk supply of your favorite snack you like to eat, you like to munch. Admit it, you like all that stuff, zoom zooms and wham whams, potato chips, cookies, cakes, no judgment, but I'm gonna give you a bulk supply of it just for sharing your Shopping While Black experience with me. And again, to enter the contest, the Shopping While Black, hit me up at passionwebmail at poeticpassion.host. In the subject in the subject bar, type Chew on This / Shopping While Black. In the body of the email, include your mailing address, what type of snack you want. So I know what type of snack you want in your mailing address. And then, of course, your Shopping While Black experience. Try to keep it short and sweet. I don't want to read a novel, so probably no longer than 5 paragraphs about what happened. Then after that, I highlight Black-owned businesses, and all the Black-owned businesses that I highlight usually, fall under this criteria. They started from the bottom. They have little to no education for starting the business. They're just, or if they are college educated, the business that they opened wasn't necessarily in their field of study. So they just figured it out and made it work. Attracted like-minded people, whatever, just, made it work some type of way. In addition to that, they also do charity or some type of philanthropy, giving back to the community, empowering the community. So they're hiring their own, doing back to school drives, feeding the homeless, teaching financial literacy, digital literacy, teaching the community vocational skills, stuff like that. Vocational training programs, stuff like that. Those are the type of people that I choose to, highlight for Black-owned businesses, not just, highlighting a Black-owned business just because you're Black-owned, and you want the patronage. You want somebody to buy from you just because you're Black-owned. I can see on year 1 or year 2 or 3, but if you've been in business for 5 or 10 years or longer, and you haven't done anything for the community, you haven't hired none of your own, you haven't, did any type of community activism or enrichment or do anything to enrich the community, then you're worse than the oppressor. You're the enemy. You are a blood-sucking leech. You don't deserve patronage. So I can, like I said, I can see if you're just starting out. But if you've been in business for like 10 years, 5, 10 years or longer, and all you do on Instagram is post like all this money you got, your foreign whips, and talking about you did it on your blood, sweat, and tears, and didn't nobody help you, and all this and that, the black community's helping you. That's how you're paying for your vacay. The black community is how you're paying for your mansion, or for your townhouse, or your loft. So after I do the black-owned businesses, my next segment is spotlights, and I think I started that in late June or early July. My first spotlight that I ever did was Kodak Black, when he was giving away air conditioners to the projects. It was a really hot day in Florida, and he gave away some air conditioners. But ever since I've been doing Spotlight, now everybody, all of a sudden, magically, is doing Spotlight segments in their segments. Go figure. But nobody listens to my show, right? Now everybody's talking about spotlighting. Okay. I think I was the only one doing spotlighting. So the types of people I usually spotlight are people in the entertainment industry, prominent black figures, doing positive things in the community, using their platforms to speak, positively, using their platforms for social activism and just speaking towards the black condition. And they're usually entertainers, actors, actresses, recording artists, comedians, public figures. Then after I do the spotlight, I do a health and wellness tip section. And my reasoning behind the health and wellness tip is because, we got this little invisible thing going around making people sick. So I figure just, things to suggest to keep your immune system fortified, because if you're listening to the, watching television, listening to the radio, they just constantly bombard us with all this negativity, and it weakens your, immune system. And if your immune system weakens, they're going to say you have that thing. When you go to the hospital, they're not going to run tests for nothing else. They're going to say you got that thing, and next thing you know, you're on a ventilator. So in that section, what I'm doing is basically promoting the healthy, active, fit lifestyle. If you're healthy, active, and fit, you are still going to get sick, but, your recovery time will lessen. So it's like the more healthy you are and more healthy things you put into your body and your mind, the less time you will spend physically ill. If something's floating around in the air, some type of airborne pathogen, or, some type of regular schmegular, V word is floating around. Like you can't even say the V word no more. So that you can recover from it. So when I do my health and wellness segment, it's usually the health benefits of a fruit, vegetable, herb, plant, elixir, some type of physical exercise you can do, such as yoga, some type of stretch, just basically anything to keep your immune system fortified. Excuse me, accidentally hit that button. So after the health and wellness segment, I come to, speaking point of the day, if I have one. Sometimes I don't. It just really depends on what the speaking point of the day is. It's usually a current event, something in the media.